Okay, I want to make this kind of like a blog timestamp for my commitment to a little bit of a weight loss journey. Okay, and I've done this before, so I've actually sort of fluctuated between sort of a good weight for me, which is something like 80 kilograms, to sort of a little bit overweight for me, which is like more like 95 kilograms. And I want to explain what makes it difficult to me, and also like sort of why it's not great to focus on just the weight. Okay, so I guess the thing that's difficult for me right now is to prioritize weight loss. Okay, so I've got a lot of other things going on, and and I don't actually think I didn't actually think it is that important, and it isn't that important. But if you don't manage it at all, then it does become important just because it gets a little bit out of control. Okay, but it isn't. I mean, the weight kind of measures that, but the weight in itself shouldn't be the only thing that you're going for because, I mean, like muscle weighs more than fat, and ideally you want to have muscles and less fat and just kind of be more physically healthy. And so, like you could starve yourself, but you also like so in the short term, like you could starve yourself, um, but in the long term, you'll be like deficient in maybe a lot of the nutrients you need and stuff like that. Um, and and I've always found kind of like running around in circles, swimming laps, and this kind of thing rather pointless, and it's made it very boring. And so it's kind of been very difficult to do without sort of some goals. So before I had basketball goals that kind of motivated me, but now I'm more um, my goals are directed away from basketball, and so fitness it has become a little bit of a chore more than sort of an ambition. And but one thing that I think I have enjoyed. So the thing that I don't enjoy is I don't enjoy so wasting time running in circles and stuff like that. But I do enjoy using my physical effort and exercise doing something productive. Okay, so like for example, like moving furniture that you have to move anyway, or like carrying groceries that you have to carry anyway, um, doing chores that you'd have to do anyway, um, but doing them in a way that sort of counts as physical exercise, so doing them kind of a bit faster, um, doing them like all in one go in like a sort of a exercise session, and or kind of like doing the running that you'd have to do. Well, you wouldn't have to. So like like me going down to the shops. If I drove, it'd take me like 5 minutes because I have to go all the way around. And if I kind of ran, it would also take me 5 minutes. But I would kind of get the exercise, and I would like sort of um, save the traffic and fuel and pollution, all this kind of stuff. So in those situations, like exercise for me becomes super appealing, right? Um, or when I teach sort of kids basketball and play basketball with them, or just kind of generally give that kind of thing. So I kind of want to do more of that. And so my worry is that that's gonna sort of help and go a long way towards sort of preventing me from getting like morbidly obese. But I don't think it's enough right now to solve the problem. Like it kind of it does a good job, and it makes a difference, but um so that's sort of a good way to maintain it at a low priority. But for me it's kind of raised in priority, and so I might have to dedicate some time beyond that and maybe come up with some more creative ways to use my exercise efforts in a productive way. I mean, there was a funny idea my friend gave me, like I could go work with him like at one of his like sort of like labor jobs and get paid to exercise basically, but I've realized that those jobs are not sort of as easy as they sound. So, for example, you have to like travel like 2 hours to the job in the first place and 2 hours back, which isn't so bad for me because I guess if I can find something to do on the way there and back, like I can keep writing my book or whatever. It's actually not terrible. But the point is, I guess, um, if the only difference between doing some that is just making a little bit of money, then ultimately it's still more efficient to just kind of purely exercise and then purely make money, or like purely doing something that you're good at to make money. Um, so yeah, like some of those kind of productivities are more like an illusion than a reality. Okay, so it's kind of some a lot of things in life are like that. So you kind of got to be a bit clear about what you're getting into. So I don't know. I regularly swim with my dad every like Tuesday, but um, swimming isn't exactly. I mean, I'm not the greatest swimmer in the first place, but it's not exactly aerobic in the sense that I need it to be right now. And yeah, I guess the main difference, even if in the activities um that I'm doing, like running to the shopping center and stuff, is that I guess the main difference is I need to schedule it now. So it can't just be like on a whim. I get exercise this week and next week I don't get any exercise. It has to be kind of scheduled exercise. And then the obvious thing that I haven't really talked about is diet. So I can be more conscious of my diet, and maybe that's something I can talk about in another video. But basically, um, see, the problem is like, yeah, the thing about starving yourself, right? Like you actually have to eat a lot just to get sort of all the things you need. But the whole point of eating healthy is not is more it's less about the quantity you're eating, but more about the diversity of the things that you eat. And so you can be more healthy and still like maintain the same kind of overweight energy calorie consumption. Um it's just that like eating something purely for calories has become kind of rather wasteful when you don't actually need the calories, you're trying to lose them. It's more productive to eat things for the vitamins and then kind of deal with the calories. But obviously, in the short term, you need calories to survive. Um, yeah. So hopefully, I can check back on you with some updates, and I'll look like I've lost my weight. So when I went to America, before I went, I was like 80 something kilos. When I got to America and all like the high fructose corn syrup and all this stuff, and the lunch buffets, I got to like basically 95. And then I ended up in um, Germany, China. In China, I was just like playing basketball all the time. Shout out to More Free. Um, Playing basketball like pretty much all the time. Um, Eating, I guess, still, I mean, as much as I could. I was playing so much basketball that I, like, no matter how much I eat, I lost weight. I ended up being like 80 kilos again. And now that I'm back in Australia, um, going back to the 95 plus. Um, yeah, so I have to kind of work on that. But yeah, but not all of the 95 is bad. Okay, some of it's just kind of the muscle that I have from playing basketball, which it doesn't look like muscle because it's underneath all the fat. But um, yeah. All right, we'll see. Let's see if I can commit to this. I mean, I feel like committing to stuff like this is harder when you're like older than when you were younger. Um, I think when you're younger, I think it's just you set out to do something and you finish it, and there's not necessarily so many things competing for your attention that you might even abandon it. And here it's like something I might even abandon. But we'll see. Okay, let's check. I make this video and let's check back on like in like 6 months. Okay, see what's happened.